Big Mek!
What?
It's Orktober!
Waaaagh! Ah! That's right. It is indeed Orktober. I'm Old Big Mek. This is the Red Ones Go Faster, and we are starting Orktober the way every Waaaagh should. Counting all their boys. Let's get into it! So first things first, we're going to take everything down and out, and then we're going to take everything down and out, and then everything down and out, and yeah, all that stuff too. Basically what I'm doing is, because the whole premise of Orktober for me is this challenge on like how much orc stuff can I get done for the month, I need to know where I start. So how many boys do I have built and painted, ready to go? How many boys do I have built but like need painting? And then how many boys still need to be built that are stuck in the box? So let's start with all the painted ones. Let's grab them. And here is the whole painted Waaaagh. According to the Warhammer app, this is 2,530 points of orcs. Now, obviously, there is some ambiguity in here and some kind of craziness. For example, I run this as a mega track or big track, whatever the heck they call it now. It's an old looted tank that you can't use anymore. The band is not anything. It's just a display. What else do we got in here that's a little funky? Oh yeah, this contraption here we've been running as a Grot Mega Tank. I can't actually run this yet because you need a whole unit of the little Grot tanks. And then yeah, I've got crazy Grots kind of scattered all over, but not enough to make a whole Grot unit yet. So a lot of randomness, but 2,530 points of orcs. Now I know what the cunning ones of you are thinking. What about Big Stompy and Morkin out there? Well, truth be told, I didn't paint either of those. I bought them both used. The Stompa I haven't painted anything on. The Morkanaut, I've repainted about half of it. So I am including them in my built but not yet painted section, which starts now. And there is everything that is built but is not completely painted. Okay, no, not everything. There's also there. Oh, and yeah, also down there. I had to move to the floor. This is another 4,630 points worth of orcs on like super rough, just throwing in a unit at a time into the 40K app. And so when you put them all together, this whole army, you're looking at over 7,000 points of orcs. Problem is, that's not even close to all of it, because then there's the unbuilt stuff. Like this. And him. And this. These are all sprues of the old boys, new on the sprue, and Ludas, and Burnas, and bikes, a whole box full. And then we have to grab all that stuff. Yeah, and there's all the stuff that's in the boxes. And then again, bunches of sprues that are out of boxes but still need to be built. And yeah, so the Speed Freaks is actually built, except for there's a bunch of terrain in there that came with it that still needs to be done. The Beast Snag box, unfortunately, completely unbuilt. Scrap Jet, a old Start Collecting box, the Combat Patrol. That's actually, no, not even mostly, just the War Boss and one of the Boy Squads. New Gazgul, to go with old Gazgul, still haven't done. The Squig Buggy, the Snaz Wagon. I haven't even done the Goth Rocker from last Christmas yet. And then you get to the terrain. I've only done half the Octarius terrain. Oh yeah. And then there's the Eons of Battle expansion and the other resin stuff. All told, it doesn't even fit in a frame. Like, I can't get a photo of it, even with it being on the floor and stacked and up on a table. And it's well over 10,000 points of orcs. And that's just the stuff that's new in the box. I didn't even count how many sprues there were and how many boys or squads or anything that would make. The sprues were just the sprues. Like, I literally just tallied up the rest of those boxes that are unbuilt, and yeah, way over 10,000 points. Which makes it really sad that I only have about 2,300 points actually completed. So that's what Orktober's going to be about. We are going to paint as many orcs as possible. We're going to build as many orcs as possible. We're going to try to get these 10,000 points actually be able to get on the table instead of stashed in random corners in my office. You know, and all this doesn't even include the crazy projects like turning a MiG-15 into a DACA jet. So what I'm going to do now is pack all these away, but in doing so, I'm going to figure out kind of what order to do them in, what things are going to be priority. I definitely have some that I want to sell. These are like very much extra spares that I really don't need. I've got, I think, 18 def coptas. You don't need 18 def coptas. I've got, I don't know, 50 bikes, right? I don't need 50 bikes. So some of this is going to get sold off just because you can't use it. And really, I don't like having that many duplicates anyway. I'm more of a one of everything collector. Like, I've only got one of each buggy because I think it looks cool to have that random smorgasbord out. So I'm not big into doubles. So all my double stuff is going to go away, really. And then, yeah, just figuring out what to do with all these boys. To be honest, I don't think I'm going to touch any of the stuff that's new on Sprue this Orktober. There's just so much that's already built that needs to be done. But I don't know, maybe... Like, I know I definitely want to get the rest of the buggies done. I've got the Snaz Wagon, I've got the Squig Buggy, and I've got the Scrap Jet, and they're all, you know, still unbuilt, and I'd love to have one of each of them out on the board, because this is my bread and butter when it comes to orcs. I love the crazy contraptions and vehicles. That's actually why this box was my reintroduction to 40K. I'd been out of it for years. G-Dub announced this box, and I pre-ordered it immediately. I had to have it. It's just so cool. So that's why I've got so many bikes, so many buggies, so many jets, Stampa. I love stuff like that. The hard part is that stuff isn't really competitive these days. It's all about the B-Snagga stuff. And honestly, I do really like it. The more I've gotten to know it and the more that I've realized how mechanical it is, I've really, grown to love them. So I do have a lot of them too, including that launch box. And again, this whole thing is completely unbuilt. It's all brand new inside. See, I literally just took out the codex. I didn't even open the data cards. They're still sealed. But they are cool, and I should do them. Then there's the rest of the Combat Patrol. I really want to build those Def Coptas to go with the old ones from Assault on Blackreach. And then I've got 3 that are converted, and those are going to be my 9 Def Coptas. Well, maybe 10. Because I do own the really ridiculous old school 2nd edition double rotor Def Copta. Now, I do want to make a modern version of this out of plastic using bits. I've actually got some pieces from the Caradron Overlords that would look really good with the Orky bits to build a new one of these. So probably 10. It's ideas like that, though, that make it so hard to actually finish the army, right? I'm always so busy doing random projects like my rock band and the grot tanks and looted things that you're never going to use any of that stuff on the tabletop, but it just looks so cool on the shelf. And since I'm more of a builder and modeler and collector than I'm a player, that's what I focus on. But it's really hard to get a whole army done, even when it's one that you really love, when it's your main, when it's your thing. So I'm going to try really hard. Army. And army is honestly something I've struggled with since at least 2004. I started collecting some orcs. Megaforce came out, then you had the Assault on Blackreach set, the starter set for 5th edition, and yeah, it was all about making a Waaaagh, and well, you can see my original box here is looking a bit rough. To be fair, I think I actually have most of this built and painted. I've got 10 bikes all built and painted and whatnot, so those are done. I've got a truck built and painted and done. I've got 30 boys built and painted and done. I just don't have a set of Ludas actually painted yet, and then that Megaforce would actually be complete. Come to think of it, the start collecting I might be close to being done too. I don't have a Pain Boy built and painted yet, but I definitely have 5 knobs and 10 boys and a Def Dread, so maybe I should paint up a Pain Boy. I know he's in here somewhere. Oh, there we go. There he is. Just got to paint him. I couldn't find my Ludas and all that, because they're down here. There they are. To be fair, a lot of these boys are probably the ones from that box, though, because the boys that I do have built and painted include a lot of the new ones. But still, getting a couple of squads of boys painted up that are already built and primed, and the Pain Boy and the Ludas, then I'd have like 2 of my orc boxes actually finished. Well, 3, because again, Speed Freaks is definitely... Well, I can't count Speed Freaks and the Megaforce, though, can I? Because I don't have enough bikes built. Anyway, I shouldn't be concentrating on boxes anyway. I should be concentrating on the actual units I'm going to use on the board, which is a lot of these. These characters really need to get done. Some of these more elite support squads need to get done. Frankly, I have quite a bit that are close too. I've got a lot that are like base coated and really just need, a bunch of highlights and details and rebasing on the 32 mils. I really should just gather all these up to start with because that would be an easy win. And the next is going to be ones like this. I've got a lot that are built, that are primed. They might even have a little bit of zenithal dry brushing going on them, ready to accept some paint. That would be like the next easiest way to get a bunch completed. I even have some stuff like this that was built and painted at one point in time and maybe needs some repairs or some modifications, and really wouldn't take a lot of work to get this back into complete fighting shape and added back to the army. Then, of course, there's the super easies, Big Stompy and the Morkanaut. Morkanaut, again, I've started painting quite a bit of this thing. Ooh, there's a bunch of metal squiggies on it. Stompa's arm died. Oh god, I'm breaking stuff everywhere. But yeah, I've actually gotten quite a lot painted over here on this, so I think finishing up the Morkanaut might be the best way to kind of get a bunch of points on the board and get one big unit done. I really need to do his base, a lot of his details, fix all the things that just fell off, and then the pieces up here too, it had a lot of damage on the top when I got it that I still need to fix. Ring, 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 ring. Ring. Sorry, it's just too much fun. Which, speaking of, I found this handsome fellow too, who used to be in all of our videos. It'd be a lot of fun to paint him up. I don't know that we're going to get to him this Orktober, but we'll try. Alright, I got to get unboxing all this stuff back up and figuring out what's going on the painting desk. Again, I think I'm going to start with the easy one stuff first. All the ones that are base coated that really kind of just need to be finished off or based, I'm going to start with those, even if they don't make whole squads, just to kind of get some more stuff together, figure out what it takes to get the squads. Then maybe I'm going to concentrate on the ones that are primed. I know like the grot tanks, I've got one that's finished, so finishing the other three to make it a squad would be good. Same thing with the grots. I don't have quite enough grots to make a squad, but there's definitely a bunch running around here, and so if I can finish them all up, I should be able to put them together into a squad. But yeah, if there's anything here that you really want to see this month, you should definitely drop a comment and let me know, because I got to make a video every single day for the month of Orktober. And yeah, it's going to be a lot. So hopefully it's all stuff you want to watch. So welcome to Orktober. That's my Waaaagh to start with. Again, looking at, what was it, 26 or 24, 30 points of painted, and then another 4,600 points worth of built but not painted, and over 10,000 points altogether. So we'll check back at the end of Orktober. We'll do this one again. That'll be the final video, is setting everything back up again and going over exactly what we finished. So yeah, we'll see. How much bigger will the Waaaagh get? Will I finally get to 3,000 points? Will I exceed 3,000 points? I don't know. We'll find out. Until next time, this has been The Red Ones Go Faster. I'm Old Big Mek, and Waaaagh on!